background check, you can tell me none. Boss mode in effect, and my money long. If you ain't talking money, don't talk to me. I be over here. Music.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 24 of Paranormal Addicts podcast. Our guest this week, our advertised guest, is Dale Scott, but we got two today. We got his lovely wife. So as always, we'll start out, then you guys introduce yourselves. So just introduce yourself to everybody.
All right. My name is Dale, and I am one of the co-creators of a YouTube channel called The Horror Roadside Show. And next to me,
my name is Jenna. Hi, nice to meet you all. Co-creator of The Horror Roadside Show.
Yeah.
All right.
We go to spooky places and fun stuff. Horror, paranormal.
So we'll start out like we always do with a little icebreaker questions. So first one is a two-part question. Question. So what is you guys' favorite location you've been to? And what is your bucket list location?
All right. Our favorite location that we've been to, like in Rumford.
I'd have to say the Greater Rumford Community Center.
In Rumford, Maine. We went with Corey Heinzen, and that place was crazy. I'm dying to go back. Again, the place is super active.
Yes.
The spirits there were loud, and they made themselves known to us. Maybe it was because Corey was with us, but
the spirits knew him.
They knew him. He knew how to communicate with them. If we were off on our own, which we did, not much was happening. When Corey came, he would ask questions, and they were like, "Yeah."
Yeah, they were very receptive to
loud knocks, bangs. The second
word.
Yeah, great guy. The second question,
bucket list.
That's
list. A great question.
So since I was a kid, I've always liked Waverly Hills Asylum. However, I've heard from so many people that it's not what you think it is, But
okay, so you want to know my opinion, Waverly, and I've been 5 times. I'm from Kentucky. So
correct.
Yeah, so I have a love-hate relationship with Waverly. Okay? Mm-hmm. So the first 2 times I went, crazy active. The first time I went was 1999. So it was before they started the whole public investigations, that stuff. We were one of the first teams. This time I was living in Indiana, and I was actually this was during my pro MMA days, so I was fighting out of Louisville. So, but I was also doing paranormal investigating because that's my thing. So I was part of a team based out of Indiana, and we got permission to investigate it. It was so new to investigating. Even though we had permission, we still had to cut the lock off the gate. So so we get there, and it's crazy. I mean, you don't even have to ask. You didn't even have to ask a question. The spirits are already talking to you. Wow. As soon as you walked in, you could see them walking down the hallways.
Like dark being out of the rooms, right?
Yeah. Yep. So and now that it's more commercialized, I don't think the spirits are that happy about it. So they're not as active. They're still active, but not like they used to be. And I think that's what it is. I just don't think they're happy with. But with that being said, it is back in the hands of the family that used to run it. So I'm hoping it slowly goes back to the way it used to be. With that being said, I am going to Waverly again next year in April. If you guys want to join me.
Yeah, we're gonna try. We're definitely gonna try. So we conquered. I feel we conquered New England. I've been everywhere in the East Coast,
especially cemeteries too.
Especially cemeteries, famous locations. There's a few locations that I'm not going to mention. They're like hole in the wall places. Not many people know of, and it's So we're going to do that.
That's my favorite.
We were supposed to do Gettysburg. We missed that one.
Oh, we are devastated that we couldn't make it. Car problems.
And not even with my
Gettysburg's crazy.
I wanted to see you guys too.
I know. We wanted to meet everybody, and it was so.
I didn't get to go. I didn't get to go either, guys. So I was at home upset because I couldn't go. But next year, you guys ought to go to the big one in Penhurst. I'm going to Penhurst next year, and it's big. It's big like Gettysburg. So get Hunt is going to be there. I'm going to make sure that I go next year. Yeah. So yeah, that's a good one. So yeah, but as far as investigating Gettysburg, it's crazy because you don't even have to make it to the battlefield. Just once you get to the city, you just feel the vibes.
Oh,
Really?
I've been
It's
to
one of those
Gettysburg.
crazy.
I've been to Gettysburg anytime. I actually I was in the car with my dad. I put the spirit talker on right before we got in town. It actually talked.
Wow.
Yeah, I believe that.
I'm like,
Absolutely.
how did that happen?
Well, think
It
about the
said
amount of
it
energy
actually
that place must have to put off all that.
yeah. It
There's a
actually said
lot.
can you help me? I'm like,
Wow.
what?
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We're
Yeah, that's
driving
kind of
like
I think anytime you get to like an active battlefield like that, I was at the Perryville battlefield, which is the bloodiest battle, Civil War battle in Kentucky. It was like the last stance for the Confederacy, and before they just gave Kentucky up.
Yeah.
And like we were just getting started. We wasn't even we were doing like an equipment check, and we were just on the edge of the battlefield, and yeah, the spirits just started communicating. So yeah. So anyway, next icebreaker question is. What
I'm
is your
listening.
favorite piece of
Scream.
equipment? And you can't say yourself. We all know that we're the best piece of equipment.
Can I say
What's your
Jenna?
favorite?
Why?
What's your what's your favorite piece of equipment that you had to buy? How's that?
So my favorite piece of equipment is my spirit box, and I bought it from John Huntington, who built it, and he was advertising it somewhere, and he was showing it, and
Yeah.
it was one of the voices that came out of it. I was like, wow, like that thing works so accurate. I messaged him. I privately bought it from him. I've used it ever since. I have it. It's right off to the side of me. It's probably one of his first spirit boxes he ever made too. It's
Oh, no,
you
I'm
can
sure
see
he's
it's
made a few.
no. His ones now are really nice, but this one was kind of rugged, and I like that.
Yeah, the rugged look.
If you go on my YouTube channel or if you go on my TikTok or anything, I always upload the rails. Watch them. This spirit box is amazing. Because it's almost like it's now. Sometimes we feel there is a delay where you ask a question and then later on it'll respond. And it's like, wow, that was from earlier. However, there are times where it's now. I just love the spirit box. And for people that don't know, that's
Right.
something that cycles through radio stations rapidly and voices come out through it. And it can't be, some of it is radio, correct. But to get full sentences, it's almost impossible because it's going through radio stations, cycling through them so fast. And we got like,
I found personally, I found that, and yeah, I found like if you go backwards, you get less radio interruption than going.
correct. So mine only does AM or FM and forward. That's it. So I can't go back. It's not one of the special ones, the SB.
SB7.
Not SB7. There's another one. There's another one.
You want to know how I was special enough to get a newer one? So, okay. So like I said, I've been investigating a long time. I've been investigating since 1992. So I'm an old. Yeah, I'm an OG.
Like 7 years old.
So, but going back to my Chiari, I had to take 3 years off to recover from my brain surgery because when I had it, it was actually brain and spine. Because not only did they remove part of my skull, they also removed 2 of my vertebrae.
Vertebrae.
So-
Yeah, I was gonna say
They
that.
removed Evelyn's C1.
Yeah.
Vertebrae.
So it took me. So I took 3 years to recover, and when I got back into it, my dad put all my paranormal equipment into storage, and when I got ready to get back into it, come to find out, all my equipment got destroyed because it fell off the back of the truck. So my dad bought me new equipment to replace what got destroyed, but he's not a paranormal person, so he just bought whatever Ghost Stop was advertising. So that's how I ended up with the newer spirit box. So
Yep. Yeah, it does cool stuff.
Do you see us?
Can you
So-
see us?
But
No.
No.
no, I can
Nope.
hear you, but I can't see you.
Why'd that happen?
I don't know.
It says stop.
It went
can-
like that.
I thought maybe you turned into Ghost and we're communicating you with the dead.
Everything's
weird.
everything's on.
Oh, there we are.
There you are. Hi.
Michael, is
We
your house
see you
on?
now.
Okay.
Okay.
We didn't
So
leave.
my
Hey,
favorite piece of
I have
equipment.
a question. Have you
Yes.
guys ever like experienced anything usual in your house?
Oh, all the time.
It's
Really?
funny. I could take up your whole podcast right now
Talking.
saying stuff. If you want to hear one, I'll tell you one. Two of the creepiest. They're kind of quick. So I don't know who's haunting my house. It wasn't always haunted. We live in an apartment. It wasn't always haunted. It started around COVID. Believe it or not, around COVID. My uncle had passed away, so I'm thinking it's
Yeah,
him.
he died during the peak of COVID.
Yeah, and it wasn't from COVID.
No.
Anyway, we think it's him, but we're not positive. Anyway, my cabinet's open. Crazy things. So we're laying in bed one night, and we have, since Evelyn, can't void urine on her own, we have to catheter her. So we have medical diapers in boxes next to like the closet. So it's a good distance, probably a good 5 feet away from my bed. They've been there. They've been there since forever. Months, because they send boxes.
Oh yeah, it's constantly being filled.
It's just up against the wall all the time. It must be like 1:30 in the morning. Boom, 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 on me.
Whoa.
Things on me. We get up. She turns on the light. It was the boxes from the corner of the room that never move. But this one night, they got thrown on our bed. Scary. The second scariest thing that happened to me in the apartment was we had a spoon get thrown in our bedroom from our kitchen. Yeah, so during the summer we leave our.
Thank God it wasn't. Thank God it wasn't not a knife.
Oh, I know, right?
Right, it's true. So we heard
So
something
true.
thud and hit the floor, and we get up and there was a spoon. Very
We
strange.
were like, what
Yeah.
just happened?
Yeah, there's some
Couldn't
very
believe it.
strange things. You hear voices, knocks. I mean, it's an apartment building, so knocks. I just, I don't even use those as evidence. It's just I discredit them because knocks. You're in an apartment building, but
Okay,
certain
so we got questions from the peanut gallery now. Candice asks, what
my
has
sister.
been your favorite experience since you started?
Since starting the channel, Candy.
That's my sister, by the way, Candace.
She does a lot for us behind the scenes.
Yeah,
Hi, Brandy.
she's very good behind the scenes help with my channel. Favorite, what was it?
Experience since we started.
So I'll tell you a creepy one. We went to Winchendon, Massachusetts, and there's a church there. This church has no crosses in it. It used to be a church. It was a Revolutionary War training field. Okay, and they built the church on the hill. All churches were built on hills, right? So we're there. We're investigating. Kind of a cool night. Kind of cool. A little dead. And then Jenna's up on the, what do you call it? Pulpit. She's doing Estes. I'm way in the back. I'm just holding the camera. Something told me to get up and go to the back room, which goes up to the tower. I get up. I go over there. I'm recording. And next thing you know, I'm outside. Okay?
Weird.
And I get thinking, what the hell? I'm outside. When she came out, I was out on the grass.
Well,
I'm like, what the heck? And it's all on camera too.
The Estes session for me was pretty intense because I was getting spirit voices left and right. And then I was getting overwhelmed and I was like, enough's enough. I'm done. I need a break. And then I was like, where's Dale?
Yeah.
A person that used to investigate with us said, he's out back. And I'm like, why is he out back? And I'm looking frantically for him. And then I find him outside and he had no idea how we got there.
I was like sitting on the grass and I was like in a trance. And I'm telling you guys, this is all real stuff. So what happened was you see my camera when I watch the video back, my arm falls and then I throw it. I'm telling you, I would never throw my camera. I'd be
People get no faking.
right. So I'm like, what the hell? So I put it down And then
I don't let fakers on my show, so you don't have to say that.
Yeah.
right.
There you go. And people that do that make me mad.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have
You
people
know,
that-
I think churches, and some people think I'm strange when I say this, but I have 30 years of investigating behind me, to back up my theories. I think for whatever reason, and I have a theory, but churches are actually one of your most active places.
Yeah.
And I think that's
With funerals
because
and
I
health.
think
Yeah.
I think because people we're taught that's a safe place. So I mean that's kind of my theory.
I'm
It went
trying to-
down. It
I
went
know,
down
it's-
again.
Why did I do that?
Yeah, we don't know.
It's weird.
Settings.
So Candace now asks if you could investigate one place, what would it be?
Well, that's kind of what they asked on
Well, she probably
bucket
hopped
list.
on late.
So, I mean, there's a few. Here's the thing: is like back in like you said, you've been investigating since '92. '92, I was watching the show Sightings as a 7-year-old little boy watching the show Sightings. I was hooked. I was hooked on paranormal. So all the old-fashioned places is what really is on my bucket list, which
Yeah,
was
no, I agree.
Waverly Hills,
Penhurst. I want to go to Eastern
Penhurst. There was
State.
Lizzie Borden, which we've done, and Lizzie
Well-
Borden. We have an absolutely crazy story about Lizzie Borden.
And it's actually my first paranormal.
I've heard it's crazy, and one of the best speakers I've ever heard at like a Paracon was actually like she was a Lizzie Borden expert, but her presentation was whether Lizzie did it or not,
Yeah.
And it was a fascinating. Like she spoke for like 2 hours, and I was actually speaking like next, so I should have been getting ready to speak, but I couldn't leave because I had to listen to her speak.
That's funny.
So
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think she did it?
I think she did it. It's hard to say. There's evidence that points that way, but there's evidence that points other ways too. There's a lot of evidence that where like it seemed like for whatever reason the cops back then they weren't dependent on her because there was like a
she's a
visitor
woman.
that spoke. So there was so much that should have been investigated that wasn't. It was like it was kind of like the cops just wanted depended on her, and even as much as they tried to, she was still found innocent in a trial. So I don't know. I mean, to be honest, the force that they say the axe was swung at, that's a lot more force than a normal female of that age, height, and weight could have. So So if you want to get to the forensic part of it, I'm going to say the forensics probably say she didn't do it.
Can I tell you something that might blow your mind? Do you know she was caught buying poison the day before?
Right.
So she could have. They had like food left out in the dining room. The maid got sick. I think she was supposed to be cleaning the windows, and then she got sick. She was caught buying poison. Why would you buy poison? She was caught burning a dress outside because she said she got red paint on the dress. They couldn't test DNA back then. They didn't know if it was blood. I mean, by looks, you're like, yeah, it's blood, but you could say it's paint. And supposedly there was a lot of bad things between the father and the two daughters. Bad things by things I can't say on,
Right. Yeah.
Is there
like
any
molestation stuff? Yes.
Is there any articles about it or about her
I'm
that
sure
she
there
did
are
it?
articles. I'm sure
This
there are
was
articles.
just from our tour.
From our
And
tour.
the
We
woman
went-
that gave us our tour
the original
basically.
one.
There's some real good articles and there's a couple good books. And that's kind of the thing.
I gotta look it
I
up
think
because
I think
Yeah,
she
for
planned
me,
on killing. I think she planned on killing him. I think that's what the poison was for.
Yeah.
If they died of poison, I
Or they
would have
hired
said
somebody because he had a son. He had a son too. That was, I think,
but-
visiting. It was all about money. It was all about money. He was supposed
and the son
money.
visited earlier that day.
Yes.
The son actually
He went to go
and that-
buy a
but
suit
he-
or something.
Yep. So it's an interesting thing. I guess it's one of those things we'll never actually know.
No.
So
Never
next
know.
question I got. Are we ready? Next question is, what got you guys into the paranormal field?
I was waiting for this. I was waiting for this. So when I was young, it was my very first time. I didn't even know what ghosts were. You guys ever hear of the Hat Man?
Huh?
Yes, I heard of it.
Okay. Now, I just found out what the Hat Man was about 5 years ago. Back in the one, I was maybe 4 years old. Candace will reassure me in the corner here.
You know, and I always think it's her,
So
but it's not. That sees it with you.
we didn't grow up wealthy at all. We had one air conditioner and it was in our living room, and it was summertime. And we were all, me and my siblings, my parents went in their bedroom. Me and my siblings are laying on the floor in the living room during the summer. AC's going. I wake up. It's pitch black. I could see this light coming into the laundry room right across from me. I open my eyes and there's a man, shadow, with a hat, with like a trench coat thing. He had like long hands, weird looking. And I freaked out. I started crying. My siblings wake up. Some of them see it, not all of them. A couple of them seen it. We ran to our parents' room. They checked the whole house. Nothing in the house. Next day, my mom asks us, what did you see? We all described the same thing without even talking to each other. And years later, now 5 years ago, I'm talking to a friend at work. And he goes, yeah, when I was younger, I used to see a man in a hat, trench coat. I'm like, oh, wow, me too. He goes, yeah, he's called the Hat Man. So I'm thinking that's his nickname for it, Hat Man. I'm like, oh, Hat Man. We called him the man on the washing machine.
Because that's who you saw.
He was in our laundry room, so he was on the washing machine. So I look it up. Well, it's a real thing, a Hat Man. And he visits children. And I've seen him another time after that and another time after that. And I think I have a picture of him.
Still have it.
I think I have a picture of him. I swear to you guys.
I would like to see that.
I'll
So
look
do
for it.
do you know the whole backstory of the Hat Man?
No.
No.
Okay,
You know
so
it?
yeah, well, I know what I've been told. I've been doing this a long time, Daryl. Come on now. So I mean, there's two versions of this story. Both of them are kind of creepy, I guess. But one is that it was originally the Hat Man was like a father whose daughter died, and so he spent his eternity searching for other kids to replace his daughter. And then the other one was, which is the one that I've heard the most and has the most credibility to it, is that he actually murdered his daughter, and he was lynched and killed, and he spends eternity trying to find his next victim.
Oh, wow.
That's weird. Yeah, that's weird.
That's kind
one.
of creepy.
I heard something like he's like not a demon, but like some kind of like watcher. Like he watches over kids. It's mostly children that see him. Somebody just said Sam sees him. So
all right, let's talk a little bit about the YouTube channel and the TikTok channel. I'll be honest, I found out about you guys through Chris. Chris actually, yep. So, but I will say this: I don't follow a lot of YouTube channels or watch a lot of paranormal shows or any of that stuff.
yeah.
I'm getting to a point here, believe it or not, and I think that's because
I'm listening.
I think that's because as a paranormal investigator, a lot of them, a lot of the shows and stuff, I call bullshit on. You know what I'm saying? But I actually follow you guys' page, and I actually am a fan. I'm actually a fan of it.
Thank
Wow, thank you so much. That means a lot.
So you get, because you guys seem legit to me. I mean, and that's why you're on my show. I don't let I've been doing this so long. I guess I'm kind of a para-celebrity. I don't consider myself a celebrity, but I have a lot of connections. A lot of people know me, and I have friends. That are definitely celebrities. Like I said, Gavin's a good friend of mine. I'm not impressed with that. You know what I'm saying? So like we had Aaron G. Thompson on the show, and I had never seen 28 Days Haunted either until until
then,
like
yeah.
2 days before. Until like 2 days before he's supposed to be on my show. So I like binge watched 28 Days Haunted, which I really wish I wouldn't have.
Great show.
But yeah, I love the concept of the show, the execution not so much. But anyway, but I come to find out, through all this and talking to Aaron, Aaron's legit. He's actually been investigating for 25 years, believe it or not. Nobody really knew about him until 28 Days Haunted. But I mean, my point is, I follow your guys' YouTube page because I enjoy it. I enjoy the way you present.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
We love hearing that.
I can't find it right now. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's what he was looking.
I'll send it to you, and we can upload it on Get Haunted or something. But I'll send it to you.
You guys and Paranormal Theory are the two. You guys, Paranormal Theory, and American Ghost Project are the 3 YouTube channels I follow as far as paranormal goes.
We take it serious because we've had people try to fake things on us.
Oh my God! Yeah,
that pisses me off more than that. Somebody trying to.
You haven't
fake
heard that story? Well, how would you?
Who was faking? I'll get them.
Keep my mouth shut.
I'll get them. Who was faking?
Watch out, people.
So anyway, you guys, tell the people about your platform. Tell them about your channel.
Yeah, so it started by just Jenna and I driving to locations we were always interested in going to.
We as a family take long drives,
Take long drives, take long roads, and that place looks creepy, whatever. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a famous location. Yeah. So we went to Lizzie Borden once. We're like, oh, that's cool. Very scary thing happened afterwards. But anyway, what the thing was is I would call my mom after, and it was like a show. On today's episode of Guess Where We Are, while I'm talking to my mom, and she would say, where are you now? And it just became a thing. So she goes, you should film it, record it so I can see what it looks like. Bing, light bulb went off. I'm like, I should record for YouTube. Mm-hmm. I've always done a little bit of editing and stuff, messing around with my friends. They used to do skateboarding videos. So I've always been into paranormal. Let's do it. So I recorded. Our first episode was Betty and Barney Hill, which you guys know Betty and Barney Hill. They were like one of the first United States UFO abductees. Crazy story. I was so nervous. I was, shaking. But it was it's horror. People don't realize that our channel is the Horror Roadside Show. So wherever there's Courtney. I said Courtney. Wherever there's horror, I said horror and Courtney. Wherever there
he goes again.
I'm fixing. Where is it? I think it's yeah.
Is there always something with the camera?
I don't know if it's like a timer or something.
That's weird.
It's weird.
All right, we can still hear you though, so that's all that's important.
Right, yeah.
Maybe you have a radio face. Maybe that's the problem.
There we are.
There you guys are.
Load. So
guess who's back?
Hey, so
back
we
again.
we record anything horror. It's the Horror Roadside Show. Wherever there's something like scary or interesting, horror related conventions. It wasn't even supposed to be really paranormal. No. We just got sucked into the paranormal that everybody was doing.
There he goes again.
Yeah, it's probably a ghost.
Yeah.
Michael, what's wrong with your house?
All right.
Say boo.
Right, boo. Anyway,
yeah,
so we would vlog like creepy locations, murder, crime, all that stuff. We got sucked into the paranormal because we went to one location. What was it? SK Pierce. We went to the SK Pierce mansion, and we had an amazing time there. Marion, the caretaker, is phenomenal. Became a pretty good friend of ours, and it was active, and we were sucked in. I mean, we had to go to every. We had to go to every location after that. Yeah. And I have a big paranormal background growing up. I'm very educated on it. I know a lot of the people that are in it. And I've studied, I've done my research. I've done my homework, so we were prepared for this in a sense.
In a sense, yeah.
I don't know why my camera's not going back on.
Maybe it's the spirit telling you no video. Maybe it's the spirit telling you no video.
But I mean, what's interesting, Dale? You said you guys started out more like horror and like like ventured into like the paranormal, I'm actually a huge horror fan too.
Yep.
And you need to come up here and visit me sometime because we actually have a couple of good friends that have made a couple of horror movies here in my hometown
Oh,
that we
cool.
can investigate, like the actual place. Like one's an old slaughterhouse, and it's like they've made a movie there, but it's also a haunted location. So that'd be a great place for you guys to come check out.
Definitely. We want to be able to get to as many places as possible.
Yeah, and we're gonna work our way out. Like I said, we conquered New England. I'm running out of ideas to film, so we have to travel further and further. But
Don't worry about it.
Well, like I said, just get with me, and I think we'll play hide and go seek, Chris.
Yeah.
Marco. But yeah. There's several locations here in Kentucky. Like I said, you guys can come up here and go to Ravelry with me, and we could we could hit like 5 other locations right there in that area. So that would be good. So
absolutely.
Have you guys been to Ledgeworth Village?
Not yet. Where is that? That's
It's in New York.
New York. I knew it was New York. Not yet. So we
you guys-
haven't even touched New York yet.
You guys should go there.
We will. I promise you.
Because I actually had stuff happen there.
Oh, really?
I actually I was taking a picture of a document. I
Mhm.
actually took one picture of the document, and then the second time I did not take that picture. I had the phone in my hand, and I saw my phone was actually flashing. I'm like, Dad,
Oh, wow.
I did not take that picture. I seriously didn't.
Wow.
I don't know how. So
Was
I
there
didn't touch
anything in the picture? Like, what was the picture of?
the document.
The document. So it took 2 pictures in a row.
Yeah. I took one, and
Interesting.
then I took the second, and I did not take the second one.
So sometimes cameras can have, so it saves 2 photos. One is a raw photo, and the other one is what you see on your screen as a photo. So you can make it so the contrast is higher, the saturation, whatever, is up, and then it would save the raw photo as well. So you could double check that.
I
on
agree,
your phone.
Crystal. There's so many places that I've reached out to that have an actual website and contact information, and I don't know.
Some of them don't get back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
To be honest, like Eloise Asylum, I had bad experience. I think I told you about it. Have I?
She's gonna go check on her daughter, but I'm here. I'm listening.
Have I told you about
it's kind of
Eloise?
odd talking with nobody there.
I know. I'm still trying to figure this out while we're chatting. It was on.
So
There we go.
So Eloise Asylum. Have I told you about that? Yeah.
I think you messaged me on that place.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
when I said, I actually told Kent this. I said I was helping them find documents for the place to upgrade their status because people are complaining that there's no history. It's all the same stuff. But I was helping them find documents, and I was trying to find somebody for podcast for here. And after that, I went to go text them, and I found a document, and all of a sudden, bing, block. I'm like,
Yeah. That I remember you telling me that. Yeah. They just blocked you out of nowhere.
I'm like, what?
Well, you know what? They won't get your business. Shame on them. Shame on them.
Like,
The thing is, you Chris, you mentioned that, no history and stuff. And we've talked about this before, so I know it gets on your nerves too. I hate when people say, oh, there's no history there, so it can't be haunted. I don't really like using the word haunted. I prefer active because when you use the word haunted, everybody thinks it's always bad. So
Yeah, no, that's
but
very true.
The thing is, and Chris, I know you agree with me on this. As investigators, it's our job to find the history. I mean, that's your thing, Chris. That you're probably the best I know at that. But that's our job as investigators. We can't just dismiss a location because there's no known history. That's our job is to go in there and find the history.
Because how do you
to make
know
the spirits
what before that? You know
Like,
what I mean? Like,
You're saying basically if there's no like caretaker to give you like a tour or something, you want to find you can actually dig deeper by asking the spirits too. And then if you do research
to me that's our job. Our job is to make the spirits feel comfortable enough to talk to us. Our job's not to find the spirits. They're already there. Our job is to go to make them feel comfortable enough to speak with us. And then once they speak with us, then we can get to the answers. So yes, that's the best way to find out the history. But yes. So I have two golden rules. Like I said, as we all know by now, I've been doing this for a long time. So my two rules are never dismiss the location because there's no known history. And then rule number 2 is never dismiss somebody's experience. Just because I didn't have an experience there doesn't mean you didn't. And your experience is just as legit as mine. So I'm not. So those are my two rules.
And you'll probably agree that some locations are not more active at certain times. So you may go to a location and nothing happens. You go there 2 days later and the place is crazy. You want to run out of there.
Yeah, they're not trained monkeys. Spirits are not trained monkeys.
Yeah.
They're not going to perform just because we want them to.
It's not a circus. You're not asking them to do tricks. That's correct.
Yep.
I tell my trainees when somebody joins my team. So my team, we're a relatively large team. We have 14 members on my team. That's a relatively large paranormal team.
Yeah.
But you can't just come to me and say, Ken, I want to join Ken 10 Paranormal. You have to go through orientation, you have to go through training, and so forth. So one thing I always tell the new people during orientation is, I know we all see on Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters and stuff where the activities, I know, well, activity happens all the time.
Zach Bagans just haunted my camera, by the way.
But I tell the trainees that investigating is really a lot like fishing. You may be somewhere for hours and not get anything, but when you get something, it makes it all worthwhile.
Oh, absolutely.
So let's move on to the next question. Since we were talking about ghost hunters and ghost adventures and stuff, how do you guys feel the exactly, Candace? I love this. There's no real handbook for the recently deceased. Even there is a Beetlejuice, but not in real life.
I have one. You're lying.
So I've always said that one day I'm going to stand in front of both of the mirrors in my bathroom, and in front of one I'm going to say, Candyman, 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 and in front of the other one, I'm going to say, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, and let them have a fight, see who wins. But anyway, I'll video it too. We'll put it on YouTube. We'll be made. And the only thing I got to do is say demon a couple of times, and we'll be the most popular podcast out there. But anyway,
have you ever done with the two mirrors? Psychomantium chamber?
So next question is, how do you guys feel that the para-pop culture, that's my word, you like that word? The para-pop culture, how do you feel the para-pop culture has affected the paranormal field?
So you're referring to as para-pop. What are you referring to? Because I don't want to,
like or YouTube, like on TV,
What has that done to the paranormal world? Okay, good one. I think it's revealed a lot.
I mean, there's definitely good and bad. So
yeah, I think it's revealed a lot. I think it showed a lot of true colors in certain people. Some people are fake. There's, like I said, growing up too, watching shows, it's like, wow, that's a ghost. That's crazy. Now it's like, okay, I can do that on camera. I know I could fake that, no problem. You know, so a lot of things have been dismissed. I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what. The show Ghost Hunters, with Jason Hawes and them, fantastic. I think at first their intentions were really good. I think they're great. I'm not saying they fake things. I've heard things that some people have said. I don't know if it's true or not, but I give respect to them because they've taught me a lot on debunking things. You know, I had to make it home at Wednesday at 9 to watch Ghost Hunters growing up. I had to. You know,
I have nothing but respect for Taps. You know,
absolutely. Jason Hawes, Steve Gonzalez, yep, all them. Tango, Grant Wilson.
I actually have a Paratech VM5. If you know what that is, it's like it's the same technology as Ovilus, but it's I actually bought it from Steve.
Nice.
So yeah, but and people can say what they want, but they're legit. And the thing is, people say, well, this happened in the show. This show's 30 minutes of a 2-day investigation. You know what I'm saying? That's what people have to understand. Now, the other big show, whatever. But here's my take. Here's my take on the para-pop culture. People may not care, but it's my show, so I get to give it anyway. My take on it's good and bad. I know several people that's got into the field because of it. And I'll support anybody as long as you don't fake stuff. When you start faking stuff, I have a problem with that. I have a problem with the show, the YouTube channels that scream everything's a demon.
Like Zach Bagans.
Like Cody and but yeah. So anyway, that's my take. There's good and bad for the most. So here's the next question. I call this the Chris.
Before you ask that, I have to say something too.
Go ahead.
All right. So people have a problem with Zach Bagans. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll tell you this. I actually do like and respect Ghost Adventures. I do. First of all, I love their filming. I love their quality. I love what they, how they come across. I think that's cool looking. It's cool. It's hip. However,
I think his new show's a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
They're good.
It's good.
He's filming. They're filming, so that money is coming out of their pockets every minute. Something isn't happening, right? So they want to put on a good show. They want the views, obviously, just like a YouTuber would or something. I think he gets embellished. He himself is a producer as well as a paranormal investigator, so he knows how to kind of hype things up. So I think it's like that's when it's a boring night is when he's like, oh, I'm angry. That's producer Zach. Other Zach is when they first go to a location, he's walking around with the spirit box, he's talking. Watch him with that stuff. He asks the right questions. He's really good at it. Then he gets into producer Zach because the night is long. The longest I've been on an investigation, I haven't even spent overnight. We went to a place in Connecticut. We were there probably maybe 6 hours, which is a long time. But they're there overnight, so it gets boring. So what are you going to do when you're bored? What can I do to make this episode interesting? Right. That's producer Zach.
Yeah.
That's my take on Ghost Adventures. I think their intentions are good, but they're TV.
So here's my take. Zach,
they're kind of pros.
Zach at the beginning openly admitted that he's an actor and a producer.
He's a producer.
He admitted that.
A producer, absolutely.
Now I think Zach has grown, and I think like his new episodes, his new show, I think is actually really good. I think sometimes he still goes more into the producer role, but I think he's grown into a good investigator. The only issue I have, and this goes back to the early Ghost Adventures, is the provoking thing. Because of Ghost Adventures, a lot of times when you go to a location now, you have to sign a waiver saying that you won't provoke. So when you start making things harder on legitimate investigators, that's when I have a problem. But he doesn't do that as much anymore. Like you said, that was the producer mode. So So, but yeah, I think he's a good investigator now. I enjoy his new shows. And one thing I gotta say is, they had an auction.
Yeah.
They had an auction for cancer. One of our colleagues that has cancer, and Zach donated a whole bunch of stuff for the auction for charity. So that's respect.
Aaron does too. Aaron does like Toys for Tots, everything. So I know they're good guys. I'm probably going to get shit on by some people on here, but I do like Zach.
Oh, who cares?
He's a producer. He's a producer. This is his lifestyle. This is what he does to put food on the table. He is a paranormal investigator. I think people hate him because they wish they were him in a sense. He's been everywhere. You know what I mean? I kind of like the guys.
Well,
but
to me, can I say something first?
Absolutely. It's your show.
To me,
no. Go, Chris. Go, Chris.
All right. To me, I think it's more depends on the location that he acts. It all depends on the location, because how he provokes, but it all depends on the location. If they will allow him, they will allow him. If they don't, they don't. But it's
okay.
It all depends.
So I'm going to wrap this all up because I don't want to get too far off into this conversation and lose what we're going to. So I'm going to wrap this up. So yeah. So the only time I have a problem with the parapop culture and stuff is, and like we know, I have some good friends in the parapop culture, like Gavin Kelly. You'll really get any more parapop culture than Gavin, and I consider him a good friend. I consider him probably my closest friend in the paranormal field. So so I have nothing against it. So with that being said, besides my team, obviously, with that being said, when I have problems with it is when people start faking stuff. I'm not going to mention these two 25-year-olds.
Like Sam and Kobe, they fake stuff.
I'm not going to mention Sam and Kobe, but I mean, I've been to locations recently. The location they tell me point blank, this rule's in here because of Sam and Cody, and that rule is that before I can release my video, I have to have it approved by the location.
Wow.
When that happens, I have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because and I'm talking about these are big locations like Harriman Hospital, South Pittsburgh Hospital. I'm not talking about little locations. These are big locations that had to put these rules in because people were faking. That's what I have a problem.
The Conjuring House, they had to review your footage before you release it.
Yeah, Jason Hawes went live about that.
I'm glad you mentioned that Conjuring House, because guess what our next question is? The Chris question.
Oh, God.
What do you feel? Why do you feel there's so much controversy in the paranormal field right now? So much controversy and negativity.
You know what it is it's overflowed. It's oversaturated right now, the paranormal community. I'm guilty of it too. I wish I did it 10 years ago. I had the capability. I just didn't think of it. I think it's oversaturated. I think a lot of hush-hush things were brought out into the public. Fakery being one of them. And by the way, we encourage anybody to come on an investigation with us just to prove to you guys that we aren't fake. Not saying you guys are saying this, but we want to bring. Watch
skeptics.
Watch any one of my episodes. We have guests on all the time. So, yeah, I think. What are you touching me for?
I'm doing
She's
sorry.
Just so you guys know, anytime you're near Ledgeworth, let me know. I will see.
Absolutely will.
Yeah,
will.
definitely.
I'll see what I can do with my dad. All right.
And like I said, we need to get together and plan a Kentucky trip. You know what I'm saying? And
I promise you guys, we're going to come out those ways. Yes.
I definitely want to. Didn't Denise and Ernie have that in Kentucky?
What?
Denise and Ernie, don't they have that new?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And I'm actually, so next week's my big Paracon, right? So with my money, some of the money that I pay for that I make from the Paracon, I'm actually going to pay for an investigation at Ernie and Denise's. And if you guys want to be part of that, that would be awesome.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I don't know the date yet. We'll get together and come up with a date. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We can see what works and hopefully we can make it work.
Yeah.
I've not been to the Ditto House yet, but it's from everything everything I've always known and everything I've heard since Ernie and Denise moved there, it's actually one of, if not the most haunted location. So
That's amazing because that's like, I think that's like end game for us, like to eventually own a piece of property to be able to share that with the paranormal community. Like that's end game. That's something that we would love to do eventually.
Something with history, something with nice, rich history to it,
I'm gonna tell you something about Ledgeworth.
Yeah, we're gonna go, so I'm obviously gonna message you about it.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna tell you something about Ledgeworth. All right.
1989, I bet.
All right.
Yep.
Hang on, Kent. There's a lunchroom, and when you go in the door, right on the right, there's a big lunchroom, and I'm pretty sure that's the cult's territory because there's been rituals done in the lunchroom.
Yeah, that's when you get the dark energies.
Yeah.
I don't even really refer to them as demons. A lot of people say demons. I say energies. I feel sensitive to it. I pick up on it. I know.
Chris, you don't believe in demons.
Negative energy.
I don't believe in demons, so I am not.
Yeah, I think it's good.
I don't know.
Just whatever.
Are we ready for the next question? This is the rapid fire round because we're actually running out of time. So in this round, this is actually one of my favorite rounds, and I want everybody to notice. Next week will not be live. Next week will be recorded because I will actually be setting up for the Paracon, but our guest will be the one and only Gavin Kelly. So I'm actually recording it Sunday. So, but anyway, so rapid fire. In this round, I name different kinds of hauntings, and you guys give your opinion on them. Got it?
Okay. Yep.
What kind of thing?
So the first haunting is residual hauntings.
Residual, absolutely. Residual hauntings, I feel that the land can record time and record energy. So if something drastic happens or something exciting happens, I think somehow the land can record that, especially if there's water around, flowing water. I think places hold memories. That's my idea of a residual haunting. Next.
Intelligent hauntings.
Intelligent, yes.
Show me the Hat Man. I want to see that picture.
I know. I'm going to send it to you guys. I have to sit there and scroll on my phone.
I would like to see that.
I'm going to show you. I promise.
No, he'll send it to you once he finds it.
If you guys even...
I'm just going to let you guys know before you even answer this question. You guys are going to have to come back on the show. This has been a great episode. There's so much more we got to touch base on. So anyway, intelligent hauntings.
Yes, absolutely. I think when we pass on, I was going to ask you what you think ghosts are. That's what I was going to ask you. I think when
what
we
do
pass
I think ghosts are?
Yeah. We could switch the roles really quick, and I can ask you that question because I'm more curious.
So,
I have my own
what do I think ghosts are? Okay, so ghosts are. Okay, so I am a clairvoyant, a medium, whatever title you want to give. I have the ability to communicate with the spirits. That's why I got into the paranormal. So, but when I investigate, I do it through a scientific method. So my answer is kind of scientific and kind of not. So scientific, we explain ghosts as like energy or whatever. So my personal belief is a spirit is some kind of energy that's left behind from somebody that passed over or chose not to pass over. It's just a residual. It's just the energy that's left over.
Yeah. And I agree with you 100%. We are energy, and I think we've been told our bodies are vessels, and I think that.
Even Einstein. even Einstein said that
Energy never dies.
Einstein even believed even. Yeah, he even said more energy, and energy doesn't go, so it's so it stays. So yeah.
Think about like a magnet. There's a negative and a positive. So it's like you come in and out, right? This is your life now. This is your death. I don't know what you call it, life then. I think we come in and out, and I think that we're tested. What we do on this earth right now in our current vessel, what we do here affects where we go in the afterlife. It could be that you're reincarnated and you keep doing that until you learn, until you're enlightened, until you're your true self, and then you pass on and you go to that next level. Whatever that next, it could be UFOs. We don't know, right? Nobody knows. It could be aliens. That's the next level up. And they can come in and out of dimensions. They're in the fourth dimension. We're in the third. They can come in, check on us, make sure everything's going right. That's what I think it could be. That's my opinion.
It could be. And like a lot of people, Chris ain't really a cryptic type person, but when you go into like the discussion about like Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever, a lot of people think, some people theorize he's like on a third or fourth dimension, and that's why he just So
I believe in skinwalkers. So
yeah, why not?
I think they're cool, but I never saw one. But I don't think I want to.
Yeah, and that's the thing is just because you haven't seen it, doesn't mean it's not real. Go to the location. Talk to the people.
We're studying the paranormal. I mean, that means we're studying stuff that other people haven't seen or don't believe in. So anyway, intelligent hauntings. What's your take on intelligent hauntings?
That's my take is yes, they are real intelligent hauntings only because we've had experiences where we've asked certain questions and you get a very relatable answer back. So absolutely, you can almost ask them, can you knock? And they knock. That's intelligent.
So most people, it's always been considered that your residual haunting is your most common. But we had a guest a few episodes ago that actually made a point that my research lately has been in this direction. She actually said she believes that intelligent hauntings are actually the most common because
I agree with that.
In order to be, if the spirit's communicating with us, that's an intelligent haunting. And so most of this. So anyway, we're going to talk about Chris's favorite type of haunting now that he don't believe in. But what's your guys' take on demonic hauntings?
Demonic haunting. So I can't say we've encountered a demonic haunting.
No.
I've been to a location I'm not going to name that claimed they had a demon there. Weird things happened after, I got to admit, but not really there.
No.
I think there's good and bad. That's what I'm going to say. There's good and there's bad. Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's demons or not. I don't know. However, I've encountered negative energy, and I think that's what it could be. Who knows?
So here's my take. We may not care, but it's my show, so we can listen to it anyway. So my take is, I'm actually a trained demonologist. I actually went through training with Bishop Long, and stuff. But I also acknowledge that demonic hauntings are the minority. We're talking about less than 1%. But there's definitely malicious spirits out there. But what people have to realize with malicious spirits, if somebody was a dickhead when they were alive, they're going to be a dickhead when they're a spirit.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Or even more.
So that's my take.
Because you're living and they're not,
Right. So anyway, we were out of time. So tell everybody how to find your YouTube, how to find your TikTok, all that stuff. Tell everybody how to get a hold of you guys.
Awesome.
What about you?
I don't know why our camera's not working, but if you can hear us.
You could just go to YouTube and search the Horror Roadside Show, and you'll find us. You can Google us, or you can go to TikTok and, again, type in the Horror Roadside Show. We're on all platforms. and we investigate paranormal, go to creepy horror locations, crime scenes, filming locations if it's horror related. And that's the Horror Roadside Show, and it's me and my wife, Jenna.
All right. Thank you for being our guest. It was a great episode, and we look forward to having you guys back on soon.
Absolutely. Anytime you want, just let me know.
All right. We'll see everybody next week. Remember, next week will be pre-recorded, but it will be shown at our regular time with Gavin Kelly. And you guys are back. Now we're leaving.
It's an encore.
Guys, see you next week.